Hi, I'm the Wandering Newbie. It's time for more Record Keeper. Today... Oh no, I didn't adjust my windows. Hold up. Today, we have actually an FF1 event, of all things. These rarities that only come around once in a blue moon. It's still that newer format where the ultimate and the ultimates in the apocalypses are copy and pastes. So... I don't know why I decided to take a drink of coffee mid-sentence there. So there's that, but hey, I think Sarah gets an awakening this one, which she needs. She needs a little updated kit. Looking forward to it. Anywho, the first fight is the Fiends, all in a row. I really like when they do these. They have all their weaknesses and their strengths, which really boils down to Tiamat being the worst one here, so don't bring the first couple elements unless you have a backup to fall on of the back elements. Or you can be like me and just build a water team for the apocalypse. Well, remember that the whole Fiends of Element thing were a bit different back then. For instance, Lich doesn't resist Earth. Merilith just resists the first three, so she hits that. Kraken doesn't resist water. Tiamat doesn't resist wind. It is weird saying Tiamat ever after leg has been bent. Oh, I get it. It's supposed to be the, right. Oh. Doesn't calm my throat. It's supposed to be the, Jesus Christ. Past castle version of the Fiends. Anywho. Let's have at it. Oh, I love this background. So the bigger things to worry about here is that a number of the bosses have blinds attached to them. I think Merilith Kraken and Tiamat all have a blind. Your boy Lich here up front has a Why Warrior of Light hit so much harder? I'm not gonna break for it. Tiamat the slows. And sleep. Really, much like the original game, the things that will probably do you harm more often than not in this fight is getting hit by an errant status effect. Definitely bring blind resist on your, well, on a real fight. Not one where I'm attempting to show something. Show how minimalistic you can be. But bring blind resist normally for your offensive, for your melees, because Kraken here, I believe, 100% opens with doing a move, maybe, or the timetables on these boys are ridiculously slow. Well, I'll be. Or this is a fake fight. And I'll just have to send them packing. Didn't do anything. The ladder 3 just didn't do anything. Well, it's fine. I'm sure when we do the Apocalypse version of that fight, we'll see way more mechanics and I'll be eating my hat. We're getting a second version of weekly events this week. The other half of Canvas events. I guess that one is right there. I could have actually used anything else, but yeah. Keep this moving along. returning to very simple bosses that they've toned up a bit. Vampire here, actually kind of scary, legitimately. The Apocalypse version has some nasty mechanics. But more on that when we get there. For now, we need to punch this this tiny baby. But yeah. What if a mook, a generic, was slightly bigger? RK Passionate Salsa. Dang. Dang, my gimmick. My gimmick, I gave him a good move. The biggest difficulty that you'll actually approach fighting this version of the vampire is the sheer number of resistances he has. Because there's a lot of elements that you cannot actually hit with very well at all. I believe he resists. Nice. So that only has a 50% chance to hit. So that's a coin toss every time that comes up. But he resists fire, ice, earth, and holy, actually. But you wouldn't think it's a vampire, right? Dia should work on him. But no. So you're left with dark earth, water, lightning, poison, if you're so inclined. But also worth noting that he has no weaknesses, which means he doesn't have the boosted weakness-based defenses. So non-elemental stuff actually puts in the work. I just realized that Mega Drive is also a 6-star move. Man, in my defense, I put this party together very last minute, literally after the stream had already started. It's fine. That's not good. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It is. It is fine. It's fine. Sarah has high enough mind that she breaks out of the paralysis pretty quickly. Which, hey, there's a tip for you. If you you don't have the paralysis accessories to dodge the mind, just put people that are gonna get hit by it in those slots with high mind gear. Though, because that happened, did miss out. Might lose Garland here. close. But we lost out on damage while our buffs were up and our buffs ran out. But yeah, there you go. Just exactly, like, vampire here can be nasty. His paralysis is... Paralysis come out fast and often enough that they can mess you up. Okay. So let's see what the four fiends are like when they're not baby. But I'll also be slightly less baby, so might actually balance out. They might still be baby enough. And now for the ongoing search for lunch. Where's lunch? There's lunch. Oh, that's the wrong one. No, final fight of this event wasn't chaos. Previous events were. That's generally a really annoying fight due to his omni-resist nature. Omni-resist. It's a mechanic that just doesn't translate to Record Keeper. Okay. For... I'm gonna say boys, but that doesn't really work. You just say four fiends. Four fiends block your way. Yeah, as stated, for this you extremely want to have blind resist on your people that can benefit from it. Middle two fiends can and will attempt to blind your party. This one does sleep. Alright, so they're still pretty squishy. They go down fairly fast after a turn or two of prep. It's a matter of how rough do they hit. You know, also just the factor of Titus being a monster. I gave you one turn. And this is how you repay me. Oh. Right. Water is lightning. Alright. Final one. Yeah, so it seems like these fights are kind of fake due to the fact that the bosses need like a fucking second to think each time they come in. So by the time that they're done like getting up and walking to the battlefield and being like, oh, I guess it's my turn now, they're already dead. Tiamat didn't even get to attack. Okay, so it seems like that the actual advice I can give for the 4 Fiend fights from this event are be aggressive. If you are offensive enough, they just don't get to act. Of all things. Alright, and then the final one. Vampire. Vampire, which actually required me to strategically rearrange my units. Due to his, weird mechanic. Now, I'm also going to grab a culinary curiosity for this, but it would also behoove you to an extent to roaming warrior, say, some sort of Astra. So the difference between, the major difference between the Ultimate and the Apocalypse, aside from, you know, slightly bigger numbers, is the Apocalypse, their paralyze is auto hit. Slots 1, 3, and 5. You need some way to purge that paralyze in a timely manner, or you need a way to prevent it in the form of an Astra. I'm going for the former. As I hear my laundry go off. It's fine. We haven't fought Warmech yet. Not even as like a bonus boss. As a joke. So, the big difficulty of Vampire, again, is that paralysis that he does. And the biggest thing to know is that his paralysis is the first turn of every phase. Whoops. I thought she was gonna get turned first. Whole time to have my go fast for a bonus 3 turns. Well, we're probably gonna get hit by the second paralysis here pretty soon. Compared to my Sid mission party, this one actually has damage. Which is actually gonna hold Deuce's turn. Because now I have to do it the hard way. Remove the debuff individually. Hope for double casts though. That's always nice. Luckily, a lot of the damage this boss does, for the most part, isn't too rough. It does have a couple of nasty attacks that can do a lot of damage. I didn't do this because, again, was putting this party together in a rush. But you can spec for a poison resist. It reduces the damage of a couple of his attacks. Or you can just give yourself 35 extra points of attack and say, how about you? There's the nasty hit. There's big numbers. What we got there? Like I said, for the most part, doesn't deal too much damage, and then he just has like one attack that hits like a truck. Alright, but what if way less like synergistic party, just the worst, just a mess. No way to Asuna, except for, you know, my faithful companion. Always be there for me. But just this absolute garbage pile of party. Something about the music from FF1 I really like. Did a lot with nothing. Ooh, must have been from all the sweeping I did yesterday. My arm is sore. I just did a big stretchy and it hurt. So, my strategy for this fight is non-existent. You hold position, you get started. See, the nice thing is, I set this up so that if she double casts, it goes to Garland, because he has less HP. That was kind of perfect. That's the opener that I want for this party. So, welcome to this move. It sucks. We need him to not hit the back row, because the front row can heal itself. Cloud of Light is a buff. take the fight slow, methodical. We now have our buffs. We can now approach this real style. We can approach it very real. I forget if this is instant cast or not. Just gonna wait, either way. Crushed. Right. Your move is worthless. There was no point for holding out for your move. It is just bad. However, debuff real. Crush, very real. Alright. You can do that. You're the one that purges. I can get one more set of attacks off while the crush is up. I think. Yes. We'll use this time to get this up. Wait. Oh, I fucked up. I goofed. It's fine. That should auto to people that need it. Should. Should have autoed to people that need it. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. This is why we have Echo. This is why we have Apocalypse Bad Bat. It's fine. I have a plan. I'm going to fly. I just need Sarah to get a turn. Perfect. Bam. 1, 2. That gives me instant moves. Now our attack mag buff did wear off, so we're not hitting quite as hard as we should be. That's fine. It's weird. We have oh motherfucker. It's fine. She got me nice. All things considered, this is a debuff and instant damage. We're good. Whew. And now for something completely different. Hard fights. So let's talk about the limiters I had to enforce for this, right? So, normally I would attempt these without Magicite at all. I was finding after like an hour plus of testing that my damage was just lacking. I just couldn't get the numbers up there. And that was mainly due to the fact that this is restricted roaming warriors. Had this not been restricted roaming warriors, I could easily have taken a like culinary curiosity and gotten my numbers up there way easier and not required Magicite. But due to roaming warrior restriction, I had to throw some Magicite on the pile. It's fine. It still is not a give me at all. The other limitation that I'm doing for a 300 is, one moment, let me get the right name for this file here. The other limitation I'm doing is BSB and lower for soul breaks. This counts glints, but only 5-star glints. Pretty much, it's no 6-star soul breaks. This may change to OSBs down the line. But for now, no 6 stars. It was really fun trying to figure out something that would work with those restrictions, though. While still letting me delve a bit more into my versatility, it actually got to the point where I had to reference my old spreadsheets to see what I can do. So bigger things about Tiamat here. No weaknesses, but has a number of resistances. So kind of similar to our vampire fight from this week. You're going to want to build a team that hits one of those no resistances, and then sort of build around that. I chose to go with ice. It felt correct. Also, the other reason why I brought Magicite into this is if you are attempting 300 difficulty fights, at that point, you should be able to clear some Magicite. Like, that should be in your wheelhouse. So, utilizing Magicite, I don't think is entirely outside the realm of reason. I'm just limiting the degree that I go to. Just 3. Just 3 Magicite. Did I not cast Protect? I don't think I cast Protect yet. Other notable things that Tiamat will do here. So mostly magic. There is that physical right there. Roar is an attack mag buff and will punch the top 2 slots with a blind and the bottom 2 slots with a sleep. Astra does block both of these. And happens infrequently enough that if you say, I don't know, have an Astra on your healer's Soul Break. Yeah, 4-star Magicite, 300 difficulty. There you go, perfect. If you have an Astra on your healer's Soul Break, and you start the fight with them being able to fire it off, you should probably have it again by the time you need it again. There you go. Once you hit middle phase, though, on Tiamat, the fight does get a little rough. She starts doing a lot of damage. You're going to appreciate the status effect parts of the fight, because that's your breather. She's about to heal. She's about to heal and put a barrier. The real thing I need to think about recasting is the attack mag buff. That's about to wear off. And there's Roar. I think the second Roar I just always miss time. Just barely mistimed. Which means the Samba is going to wear off. Salsa? Passion Salsa. Samba Passion. Samba Salsa. Yeah! Angry Barts. Super Barts. Get this back up. And you just keep snow spelling. The final phase is where it actually gets real nasty. Speak of the devil. Alright, Kate Sit's buff is going to be wearing off pretty soon at this point. That's fine. Alright, so it's going to count down. Not much more to say other than that. It's a Bahamut leg, and it's counting down. Counting down in a weird way because, of course, in the original Japanese version, it was saying one kanji at a time, which is hard to. I goofed. I goofed bad. It's gonna get an attack off with its buff up. That's fine. We mitigate. Banger Bart showing up again. You'll love to see it. That's not the person I thought that was. Oh boy. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. So the actual plan that it didn't work out, and I'm just going to 100% this off screen. That's good enough for showing of a limited party. Iris was supposed to get her soul break off a second time, giving everybody a stone skin right before the biggie, which would have given us the slightly extra HP needed to survive that. Timing due to adding on other magicite caused that to not functionally happen in the correct way. What are you gonna do? The answer is I'm just gonna go back with a different team off stream, and take care of that. Growing pains, we're getting there, right? I gotta figure out this right equilibrium to tackle these 300 difficulty fights. Now this one I just don't give a shit. No, 400 difficulty fights for doing stream stuff, limitations. I'm gonna give myself access to USBs. They're built for it. The other thing is just gone. The thought's gone. I had it. I had to follow up there and gone. Hey, you get an F in chat for my brain. I'm gonna put similar limiters of magicite though over here, just to see if it's doable. These are 400 difficulty, so we will see. I might actually just need to go at these like they're magicite. We'll find out. They have lower HP than magicite, so that's why I figured I wouldn't have to go as hard. And as we saw with the 300s, quite doable. The big thing is going to be seeing how much damage this guy does. Manageable, actually, like way, way manageable. I have an Alara USB in the pocket right here. We're gonna hold off on using that. Wait, actually... Oh no, did I accidentally pack in Awakening? That was supposed to be Magitech album. But I did see one, I think a one use. Might have to forego. Hold up, we'll see when we get back to her. Damn, I fucked up. Hold up. Restart fully. I goofed it, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm a fucking sham. I was shuffling around parties so much, just must have missed that. That's supposed to be Magitech album. Let's just check everyone else. Right, you're on the USBs. I kind of count this as a USB. If chains were... normal chains were 5 stars, that's just a 6-star chain. Which means on 300s, I should allow myself to use chained, like 1-star chains. 1.0 chains. I should allow that. Yeah. They were of the era. What about 1.5s? Well, thankfully I don't have any of those, so I don't have to think about that. Couldn't also use free chains. You're right. Like, there's a lot of options. But I think that is a thing to consider. I should allow myself to use chains on 300s. Could give me a little bit of edgewise when I need a little bit more damage. Which was clear with that Dark Tiamat. Just Tiamat. It's just Tiamat. It's not Dark anything. It's just Tiamat. This is Tiamat. See that? That's Tiamat. If I go here and hit battle info, it just says Tiamat. Yeah, with that weaker version. Could have given me a little bit bonus damage I needed. Uh-oh. She's fine. Okay, there's Roar. I'm gonna hold Alara's Moon here because I might actually need... Alright, you did Gravity. Oh, we're good. We're just nice. We're just nice. She gotta be good. Alright. I think it's time to give everybody the big buff. it's time for numbers. Okay, so there's the blind. Which means I need to hold Tyro's turn. Because that means the sleep is going to happen pretty soon. There's the sweep. Sleep should hit right after the sweep. Oh, damn it. I should have used, a meteor? When the fuck does the sleep happen? It's fine. We're fine. I might push phase, actually. Yeah, I actually think I pushed phase. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Oh, I think it just fell off. Dang. Stay safe, Tyra. Big numbers. Alright, we're in final phase. Let's debuff. I can't actually remember if I did the attack mag debuff. There's been a lot of numbers going on screen right now. We're gonna have to refresh chain here. Well, now I know I need to do roar. It's fine. He's got quick cast. Down with the Morning Star, though. Well, we're gonna be real fine here. Maybe? Maybe. Maybe. Actually. Actually, Wall has worn off at this point. But I think everything he does at this point pierces, so there's no point to refresh Wall. We just need to kill him. Which Squall's got? Squall's good. Squall stay alive. With the chaser. Painless. And actually, pretty good showing of you don't need awakenings or sinks. Don't need arcanes. Just good old-fashioned USBs. Get all the goodies. Whole purchasing of one singular nougat. Am I even close? Oh, we can also talk about the second stroke of the brush. I'm not going to be doing it today, as with the other one. It's a jump start. Oh, dude, yes, hell yeah, wall. Wall is worthless. Good. But the other thing to note is it's also roaming warrior access. So the meek give you access to the roaming warriors. The Forsaken don't give you access to roaming warriors. He's also omni-resistant. Of course he is. Well, this is gonna be fun putting something together, but that's for next week. I think we got enough time to jump into a Torment for one attempt. Is it going to work this week?
I don't know. Okay, well this should be working now.
Are you even going to transmit Nox? No, it's just my face. Okay, hold up. The fuck is OBS? There it is. Is it transmitting?
Give me a sec.
Oh, have you not fired it up yet?
Well, I did now. It's not.
Okay.
Kind of assumed first option would be to not work.
Well, the weird thing is that OBS isn't transmitting.
Huh. Nope. Must be whatever new thing they did with screen share.
No, because this was lurking last night.
Okay.
Oh, this is annoying. Well, no. I'm gonna try something else. Just gonna reboot Discord real quick. No.
Homer.
Gonna try something else just real fast, like. Want to see if this is a problem with. Yeah, I can't stream anything right now.
That's.
Yeah, give me one last second. Last thing I just want to try, just for me. Yeah, I just opened up BizHawk, and it also isn't streaming BizHawk. Well, that's weird. One more. Last thing I want to check. Yeah, this is weird.
Would you already tried getting off and on a Discord? Yeah.
Yeah, I closed it and came back in.
Oh, there's my idea.
This might just be a like I might have to reset my computer for this or something. Alright. Unfortunately, just won't be able to do that today.
Not a huge deal if we're just doing banners, yeah.
Well, I was going to jump into the torment. That's a quick torment run. Oh, what's last time? Alright, yeah. I'm just going to poke the question mark. Well, that's unfortunate, but these things happen. Did I save that party last week? I hope I did. It's gonna be really annoying to remake that party. Looks it. This looks right. I'm checking a few things real quick. Yeah, I got nothing. Alright, well. Anyway. Form. I'm gonna jump in here, try and get a run going, and then seeing, you know, where does it fall apart.
I feel like you'll get a little bit deeper in than most, just because FF1 tends to be a bit lenient since we don't get events very often.
True. What even was my start? Fuck it.
Oh, you managed to look into a crisp 60 FPS. That doesn't happen very often.
Let's appreciate it while we can. So this is what my concern was. And it might end up being correct. In that him big.
Yeah.
Smashing Enkidu.
Seems to be just a lot of gravity attacks on the offset.
To an extent, yeah. Ah. Also, you know, I need to water and dive people. That'd be a thing to do.
Yeah, speaking of that, how's Renoa coming?
I mean, she's dove.
Has she got her thingy yet?
No. They tend to not give those out too much. Chain was just used. Kind of want to hold out because I can just get that next move off, I get a really good buff from Sarah. Oh, Blaze is good. Everybody has Blaze protection, except for Matoya, who may die. It's good. Oh, we might be stabilizing. No.
Not like this.
It's fine. I have a plan. Oh, those are numbers. Yeah.
Alright, you finally found your numbers.
Huh. Huh. Hmm. It's fine. I heard the sound of a buff. I'm like, he buffed me? And then, oh no, I'm in danger. Yeah, what I should be doing is using the summons with Maya, which I haven't been doing. Because those are going to hit harder. I'll get one turn of that.
Greg.
He's Dark
Fellow
Greg.
with a name starting with G.
Dank Greg. Evil Greg. Yes. Brightest finale. Damn.
You got pretty far.
Bold of you to assume I'm done. She's fine. Hey boys, thank you for the raid. We're trying some real bullshit right now. In this, the time of keeping records. Okay. That's good. She's back up. Let's get debuffs back up. Ultimate round edge, so he's gonna get a tiny buff. Tiny buff.
Small.
Small. Do that. I think at this point in the fight, we can't use Sarah to get buffs back. We need to just keep the party healed. Which may or may not come back to bite me. We'll see. Whack.
I was about to say you had damage solved, but then that happened.
Probably dead here. I may do something suboptimal to survive. 1, 2, 3. Just gotta be nice. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Nice set play. Get fucked.
Well. We go together.
He does indeed have Sarah Glint, assuming he can hold out long enough.
It's fine. We go together.
You're absolutely getting goodies for what it's worth.
Get fucked. Get fucked. Damn. Dang. He has a phase transition, doesn't he?
Dang. Feels like that's workable.
That's with no dives and no water. That is workable. Look at look at Matoya's health. Look at all the bottom's health there. That's workable. I think Sarah is dove. I probably did not dive Warrior of Light because it's a garbage dive. But for numbers, we might. Alright. Let's look at weapons.
Oh, banner time.
Oh, that's me yelling.
Look, it takes a lot of effort to
one more
move
time.
forward 40 degrees in my chair.
No, it's just still not working. Why? Fucking bizarre. Whatever.
In fairness, this is probably the format that needs this the least.
Yes,
I think we're
thankfully.
fine.
I will fiddle with this later in the week. Anywho, Sarah's Awakening. Instantly restore large amount of HP to all allies, raise any KO'd allies, give them haste and last stand, reduce the delay of their actions for 2 turns, and enter Awoken Cordillion Princess mode. The Warrior of Light and Garland are in the party, grant additional effects depending on how many of them are present. I actually know this one on the top of my head, because I read it. Warrior of Light alone gives the party a 10% holy buff. Garland alone gives the party a 10% dark buff. Warrior of Light and Garland together is a 20% holy and dark buff. So, play the gimmick and you get goodies. Cordillion Princess is a white magic bard based one that is a Medica Chaser based on ability rank.
Procs off of white magic and bard, which is very helpful.
Yeah. We've seen that these Bard Chasers are actually pretty potent. I see it with Alara a lot of the time. And two-turn quick cast, actually pretty fantastic, all things considered. It's a solid variation on a lot of those healer things.
It's
Go ahead.
Like, it's probably at its strongest when it's there to get the party rolling, because then you're free to just use your barding abilities to get everyone up to max stacks while you're busy getting hammered by attacks.
Very possibly. The way I always use Alara's is I wait until I've taken a little bit of damage and then I fire it off. Because all the bosses have those big openers nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
Witch Awakening. Matoya. 15 Magic Fire, Ice, Lightning, Non-Elemental. Temporarily reduce the delay of the user's witch abilities. Grant Awoken Witch mode. Increase Cap Break by 1. And enter Quartz Eye mode, causing every second Fire, Ice, or Lightning witch ability to trigger a follow-up. Quartz Eye, which I'm going to get, is a chaser based on the triggering ability rank.
It is actually Switch Draw for Fire, Ice, and Lightning.
Quartz Eye chaser, though?
No, like, the two modes work together. It's like...
Okay, so it's an
element.
It's a stacking an element. Okay.
Yeah.
Neat. Yeah. With the addition, they actually finally made a Fire Witch ability, so she is very multifaceted with this. Give a witch a source of quick cast, which is very easy. If, say, I don't know, you had a bard in the realm, and they can fire off pretty well. My Ysayle did pretty great work against Dudeface, whose name I forget off the top of my head. But yeah. Typhon.
Yeah, they made sure that her quick cast was uniquely typed so that it stacks with pretty much everything else.
Mm-hmm. Driving Fist for Master. 15. Earth, Fire, Lightning, Non-Elemental. 2/1 target, temporarily enter Awoken Monk mode and get Cap Break. Rousing Charge mode and enter Rousing Rush mode. Rousing Rush mode lowers the user's defense and resistance a moderate amount, but attack 50% and grant monk ability. Gives monk ability. Gives monk abilities used by the user a high chance to trigger twice.
It's VV, but with monk.
Okay.
Yeah, that is attack plus 50%, defense and res minus 30%, 50% chance to double cast monk abilities. So just 50% triple cast.
And apparently Rousing Charge is Switch Draw, Earth, Fire, Lightning. So multifaceted monk now.
Also, his LM2 is double cast monk.
Yeah, what if you just punched 4 times? What if you just turned the master into Kenshiro? That's it. There's nothing really more I can say about this. It's just a punch a billion times. Yeah. Seems alright. Pure damage.
Yeah, I like it.
Thieves Earl. 15 physical wind, poison, non-elemental, enter awoken rogue mode, twin element mode, reduce the delay of the user's actions for 2 turns, cause every second thief or celerity ability used by the user to trigger a follow-up stealthy prowl. The effects of stealthy prowl depend on whether the user has haste.
I'm going to need to figure out how thief is typed in this database.
Unlimited use of thief and celerity abilities, grant moderate thief and celerity ability boost, and cause thief and celerity abilities to trigger twice.
Okay, there we go. Alright, so Stealthy Prowl is a chaser after using 2 thief or celerity abilities. 8 single attacks if the user has haste. Grants quick cast 2 to all allies in the character's row.
Alright, so it's switch draw, poison, wind.
With a speed combo.
With a speed combo. Neat. Weird but neat. Again,
yeah, especially since the condition is haste. Everyone's going to have haste.
Yeah. Mostly offensive, does have that switch draw. And he also just goes fast for 2 turns just by using it, so he's gonna go pretty crazy.
I appreciate how quote-unquote free switch draw is becoming on a lot of these, just because it's necessary for generalists.
Yep. Also, it's a poison boosting hat.
Yeah.
Crystal Burst is a very good thing to load into your slinger. It just does a lot of damage, and it's more or less the shotgun slinger ammo. But it's a 20 small hit, 1 big hit arcane.
I mean, it's really good just because it has so much coverage.
Yeah. Dust Devil is a 3 big wind poison for all you out there who want to attempt poison Odin.
This is unfortunately not a poison plus dagger, it is a plus wind dagger.
Oversoul, Fighting Frenzy, 10 physical earth, fire, lightning, non-elemental, enter rousing charge mode 2. Temporarily set the user's crit hit chance to 100% and remove delay from the user's actions. I'm going to assume rousing charge is a switch draw.
Yeah, switch draw with stacking.
Yep. Yeah. Just 100% hit chance, remove delay, go fast. Yeah. Sarah, being a healer during the age of 6-star glints, gets your Protect Shell Haste Glint. Very good for maybe something that we just experienced about 5 minutes ago. Witch's Concoction. Instantly remove delay from the user's actions for 2 turns. Temporarily grant Quartz Eye mode. Yeah, okay, this is the rest of this is explaining Quartz Eye mode. So, 2 instant cast turns and her switch draw mode. Yeah. Good.
Yeah, like, for a lot of these, where you have the switch draw and the switch draw stacking mode, I was about to ask, like, what the point of that was, and then I realized, oh, it's just to make you stack them faster.
Yep. She doesn't actually have a Quartz Eye too, unless that's on her Awakening.
It's on her Awakening.
It's just because they attached like some of the Awakening buffs to it, so they just make it a different mode. I went too far. No, did I? Here it is. If it has the same name, don't worry about it too much.
Yeah, I would like them to like try to explain
specific.
that a little bit more without like being like, here's this mode again. What?
Anyhow, Thief gets Empowered Infusion Wind, remove delay from the user's actions for 1 turn, which is weird since he had the switch draw, but I guess the switch draw was more for flavor. You know what you're using him for. Normal Glint for the Master. Instantly reduce delay of the user's actions and enter Rousing Charge 2. Rousing Charge, yeah. You know what it is.
Wild that they put in elements. Nah, actually, that's fine.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna need to know what Storm Raider and Cure Storm mode are here.
Yeah, got it, Coach. Okay, so grants and win with stacking, 1 charge of Storm Raider, and then the Storm Raider follow-up. Storm Raider is used after using wind or poison attack. Storm Raider is 6 single attacks, scaling with the Storm Raider level. So up to 0.38 potency.
Okay.
So it's just a glint that gets more powerful with each time you use it.
Yeah. And then Elmar's. We have a moderate chance to reduce delay of the user's action when using witch abilities. This is actually really good for witches.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's still a little RNG, but...
Yeah, like, I normally don't like these, but yeah, like, it would work on
Witches actually like this a lot. This reduces a lot of time. Moderate chance to reduce delay of the user's actions for wind or poison abilities. Less good. Thief is fast enough that it doesn't need that. And that's it. Big tech for Matoya, Master, and Thief. Everything that Sarah got is all good, but it's all stuff we've seen before. I think the big winners are the other 3 on this banner. Oh dear, one moment.
We're done with Fest, so pull if you like FF1.
Yep, one moment. I just realized the problem. I apologize. I'm not buying anything through this browser. Un momento. Yeah, it's been staring at me all week. You think I would have done it by now.
Why is Thief an unpromoted class, but Master is a promoted class? Because Thief goes up to Ninja, and Ninja would be unrecognizable as a Thief because Ninja is already its own class in Record Keeper.
So is Thief.
Like I'm saying, they have 2 different things that they do.
Oh, skill sets. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought you meant like, there's already a ninja. Oh, I move the window. It's fine. Did I goof anything else up? No, it looks fine on stream. Anywho.
God, like... I look at that title screen and it's like... No, they know what they're doing. The remake's actually working out just fine.
Remake's good.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just enjoying. Anyway, 15 physical holy, non-elemental, temporarily fuse user with holy light, grant them awoken holy mode, and increase their holy attack roll by 3. What if? Oh, increase all allies' holy attack roll by 3. What if? Get in. Ah. Punch. Sword.
Yeah, it's basically just get in with a 30% holy buff to everyone.
Yeah. It's not really a lot more to say about it. It's good. Makes everybody good. Soul of Chaos. 15 physical dark, non-elemental, temporary fuse uses power dark, grant allies a barrier that reflects a portion of damage as dark, and enter Awoken Dark mode. That's it. It's just Awakening, Dark barrier. Also just good. Maya. 15. Magic Water. Temporarily fuse with water. Water barrier. Enter Awoken water mode. Can't break. So, copy and paste the last one. But also just good.
A little bit better because water magic is not that common.
Mm-hmm. Alright, into Arcanes. We have 3 big hits for Garland. We have 3 big hits for Maya. 3 big Earth, Fire, Lightning for the Master. Wait, didn't? No, okay.
They couldn't fit his arcane on the thing.
Yeah, so they put it here. Realm Chain on the Warrior, I guess. I wouldn't mind getting that for the Torment.
Sure.
Alright. Sarah. USB 3? USB something? Instantly restore a large amount of HP to all allies. Grant them Regenga. Temporarily reduce delay of the user's actions. Grant all allies an effect if the Warrior of Light, Garland, or both are in the party. Effect
it's the same as
okay,
Awakening.
so it's it's the same as the other one. Yeah, it's alright. Instant heal, Regenga, and then that buff is pretty good.
The quick cast is actually pretty good too, just because it's like a 15-second quick cast status instead of quick cast 1 or 2.
Oh, neat. Alright, Radiant Soul, 5-star. Empowered Infusion, Quick Cast 2. Solid. Would have thought he would have gotten one of the heal ones. Instantly deal 6 magic, Empowered Infusion. It's a 6-star glint. Reduce the delay of the user's actions for 3 turns at the start of the fight because Warrior of Light, I don't know. Warrior of Light's not really a buffer. I guess it's just because he has the Realm Chain.
Yeah.
Sure. Begin in Dart.
Hey, works for Garland. He's heavy.
Chance to double cast water because I actually can't recall what she dives to. I haven't checked it.
She gets quick cast 3 cycle.
Alright. A moderate chance to reduce the delay of the user's actions for 1 turn when a Bard ability triggers. It's fine. Her dive is a double cast white, so at least I think it is.
Hold up.
Her dive, Maya's is quick cast cycle.
Maya is quick cast cycle. Yeah, double cast white.
So, yeah, the Medica off Bard would be better, but if you dive her and you're using her solely as a Bard, then you really don't need that double cast.
It's sort of like how I would take either of Rim's LMRs until I got Saint's Fire and then just use Saint's Fire and double cast white.
Yep. But as far as it goes, this is a Banner 2. Slightly worse than Banner 1. Still good. I forgot that May thing off this dollar draw. Dang. And now, because we performed the ritual last week, we have a whole new set of rituals to perform. I'm gonna start this draw, and then do the thing for myself on the side here, where I purge the word pooled from all of these. Whoops, went too far on that. Keeps happening. I'm like a race against the clock to see if I can pull this off before I have to look at the screen. Damn it. Oh, I'm almost there. Pulled it off. Which is also good and bad. Damn. Damn, this sucked. What a bad pull. That's garbage. But what if?
Oh, right, it's an FF1 banner.
It's an FF1 banner.
Even if your son's not on here, you gotta pull it for your son.
I gotta let DNA know that I love my boy. Damn, why isn't this working?
Are you fiddling with stuff in the back?
No. Well, I attempted to go Wily and to you. I'm just very confused that I've never gotten this error before.
Maybe it's okay that it didn't work. I was on the other channel looking at the database. Who's it?
Mm-hmm.
It keeps happening.
Well.
You get to do shenanigans while rolling his burst.
It's a boy. What the fuck is this? Oh. It's a selection of change. Wow, This makes me look bad. Okay, we got down to the lower ones, and it looks less bad for me. But that start. Okay, it's all the Chain 2.0s, or at least the first wave of Chain 2.0s.
Like, in fairness, the Chain 2.0s in the first wave were pretty good just because they were on good bodies, for the most part.
Mm-hmm. Alright, yeah.
I stand by Rasmo and Edward getting holy chains because they have the tech in order to back it up with their support.
Yep. A shame about the pools, but a good stream otherwise. I have a foot in the door on one torment. Yeah.
Yeah, you have something a little bit more that you can bring to the table with Thief, since you are already using Thief in that team.
No, I wasn't. I was using Thief in the Apocalypse fight.
Fuck. This thing is, yeah.
Anywho, thanks all for hanging by. I'm going to raid over to Smite. He's doing his speed bump. He's doing that, like, old game based off that Viking cartoon that I see a lot of the time. So yeah, thanks for hanging out. Probably not going to stream again until Thursday, which will be XCOM, and Suikoden on Friday, and then I think Llama Llama Randomizer on Saturday. So tune in for that. That's going to be a hoot. And I'll see you around.
Good night.
And I forgot to end this YouTube video.